Oof. Come on in, friends. Let me keep my voice down because y'all know I'll be loud as fuck sometimes and people still sleep. Say hello once you get up in here. I ain't gonna start talking until y'all get here. Hi. Good morning. Good morning. I don't even know where to start this conversation today. It only makes sense that I continue this conversation around manifestation because even though I'm back from Mexico, it's still happening. Before I jump into things, hello, my name is Alami Bashir, Intuitive Self Mastery Coach. Welcome to the morning message. Du-du-du-du-du-du-du-du. Mhm. Those of you who know, you know. If you be here all the time, you know what time it is. But those of you who are new, feel free to go to begreateveryday.com so you can learn a little bit more about who I am and what I be doing. I wash my face, but it don't really look like that, does it? It's not really giving. But this is where I chime in 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern to do a live intuitive channeled message. I never know what's going to be said. And today is no different. I'm just going to let Spirit use me to deliver whatever is to be said, shared. Excuse me. I want to talk more, not just about manifestation, because that's like a buzzword that a lot of readers and intuitive psychics, coaches talk about. Um, and I'm feeling drawn to talk about what you're manifesting. Yeah. What are you manifesting? I feel like I've talked about this before as well. I was hesitating. Like, I feel like this has already come through, but I'm going to trust this process. Um, so, my life is a bit of a whirlwind. It truly is. It is a magical carpet ride, as you'll hear me describe it as. And sometimes the magic does include discomfort, a lot of discomfort, in fact. Sometimes that magic includes whimsy, mystery, uncertainty. Sometimes it includes a lot of fear of magic. In the midst of manifestations, there's got to be a gap or a void between what you want and where you want to be. And that void is usually where we plug in things like faith. Some of you guys plug in things like a plan, and that brings some level of comfort. But when your plan doesn't go according to what you intended, then you're back in discomfort. I like to talk very honestly and earnestly, hence the Manifesting Mexico series. Stay tuned for that. I like to keep it real about this journey because it's not for the faint of heart. Even aside from just the conversation around manifestation, some of you are entrepreneurs or desire to be entrepreneurs, and any entrepreneur will tell you, and I say any, making reference to entrepreneurs who are not starting with an inheritance, who are not starting with a nest egg to be able to build a brand or a business from. I'm talking about entrepreneurs that honestly get it out the mud. Any entrepreneur will tell you that it is a test of faith. And even if they don't believe in something higher than themselves, it's like a test of your faith in yourself. For some of you, you won't even really revisit your interest. And you're not saying the word revisit because clearly there's a lot of people who are interested in entrepreneurship that don't go toward it. You like turn your back on it, in fact, because you don't want the fear and the uncertainty and the mystery and all of the things. You don't want that. And I don't blame you. I didn't want it either. That's why I turned my back on visions of entrepreneurship, even though I knew I wanted my personal freedom. I could not even think about entrepreneurship, honestly. I'm like, I don't know the first thing about running a business. I don't even know what services I would offer. This is back before I really knew what I was called to do. I don't know what services I would offer. I don't know even things like who would help me build the website. I've never built a website in my life or a sales page. Like, I didn't know the first thing about the systems that are required to actually run a fully functional business. And I was very clear that I probably wasn't the person to start figuring that out, especially at that time. So I did what a lot of people do. I got a job and I kept a job. And you've heard me talk about that. Those of you who follow this channel and have followed me over the years, you've heard me talk about that enough to know that I have no regrets about having left my occupation to live my dreams, to live out my purpose, start a business. So the fact that I am still in business, even to this day, is a miracle. And my business does fairly well ordinarily, but I'm in a season of recalibration. It wasn't a season I thought that I chose. It's a season that chose me. And so that's where I am today. You all saw me manifest Mexico, go on a trip I didn't have the resources for, and come back from a trip having a phenomenal time with all resources included. So since I've been back, I've been on this new mindset of, okay, I learned a lot from that trip. I learned a lot about myself on that trip. And what I come to know most clearly is that I have to move differently in the world, like more boldly. And I have to move with more certainty. I have to move more fearlessly. I have to move more comfortably. Yeah, I have to live and move more intuitively. And I knew that, but I really know that. I know what that looks like now. I knew that was a thing that I had to honor, and it has been a thing that I've been honoring moment to moment, day by day. But I'm moving now that I'm back in quote reality. I'm moving now with a lot more certainty in my steps, even in my discomfort or my lack of knowing where is this going and what's really going to happen. So yesterday, I did this live. Those of you who watched the live, shout out to y'all. The morning messages, of course, are daily, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern. And I did the morning message on our walk. And, we had a great conversation. And it was all good. Had a very great start to my morning. And it was during that walk that I started getting this nudge. And like for me, when I use the word nudge, it's like as if somebody is leaning over in your ear, kind of whispering. Or if someone kind of taps you like that, a nudge is like he kind of just try to get somebody's attention subtly, except those nudges feel to me internal. They're internal experiences where I feel like I'm just getting something's trying to get my attention. It's the best way I can describe it. So during that walk, I started getting this kind of nudge to reach out to someone who I met, a stranger essentially, a gentleman I met once over a year ago. He too is an entrepreneur. He's in this area and he has a long time established business in the community here. And he's a person of color, but he's not Black. And I met this person at his establishment that's very well known in the community one day while was I co-working that day or did I just pop? I think I just popped in there because I'd heard a lot about this spot and I heard it was a cool spot. And I'm like, let me pop in there because I know a lot of people co-work in there. So the quote, random day, in hard quotes around that, random day that I decided to pop into this establishment and kind of peek in to look around, the owner happened to be there. And to know me is to know that I like to talk to the owners of establishments. I do. I like meeting people, and especially small businesses. I like to meet the owners of small businesses, typically so that I can pour into them, or at least give them some kudos or a right on to whatever they're doing. It's just part of my nature, and I do this all the time. And it wasn't until Vic really pointed it out that I recognized how much I really do that. I don't just go in a place and eat there or go in a place and be there. I go in a place and I like absorb the energy of it and I feel for it. And if I like the vibe, especially, I like to meet the owner. I don't know what that's about aside from I like supporting people who are doing great things. So on this particular day, again, the owner was there. Vic was with me that day, and we stepped outside and met him, and he had great enthusiasm, a really warm heart and spirit, just a real good guy. And you can always tell good businesses because they're led by good people. Okay, the energy in the place is typically a reflection of the person who is stewarding it, and that was absolutely true for this person. So the day that I met him, we talked a little bit. Um, of course, I asked him if he was open to some feedback, and um, I started giving him just a real light channeled message around his business and around the things that he was talking about that he had been experiencing, even in his personal life. He was very transparent that day. But we had this kind of short-lived conversation. Actually, it was probably maybe like an hour long. Actually, we talked for quite a bit that day as strangers, and fast forward, the day ended well. A couple months later, Vic and I moved to Costa Rica. I have not talked to this person since then, like literally. He follows me on, we follow each other on Instagram. I don't ever see him post, and maybe he does, but you know how you don't see everybody's content. I never hardly post anymore, aside from when I was doing morning messages. And every blue moon, maybe twice in the last year, I've seen him like some of my content. So very estranged relationship. But when I was on this walk yesterday, I got this kind of nudge to reach out to him. And my intellectual mind could make sense of why I was led to reach out to him based on the first conversation that we had, where he shared, among other things, his interest to support small businesses in the community and not just support them like, give them some good information or throw them a dollar, but to really help small businesses develop systems and processes and the staff and the leadership capacity, the personnel, the marketing, like all the things that it really takes to create a thriving business. He said that day that he wanted to help entrepreneurs do that. And he wanted to create systems, create a program and systems to help people get the learning, the education, the resources they need to do what they came to do with their business. So I heard it that day over a year ago, and I just kind of let it live. I didn't follow up with him to see how it's going. I never checked back with him to see if it ever went anywhere. It was just like I heard him say it, and a year and almost some change, almost a year and a half later, maybe not quite a year and a half, but nonetheless, over a year later, he came to me. And he came to me once in Mexico where Spirit like brought his name to my forefront of my awareness. I forgot all about this guy. I forgot all about his business. I've been in Costa Rica and Mexico and doing all the things in between. I have not been thinking about this man at all. But on my walk yesterday, I was reminded again, reach out to him. Now, the nudge that I was feeling, this nudge wasn't just like reach out to him, go, enjoy his establishment. It wasn't just go, he has a coffee house. It wasn't just go to the coffee house. It was like go and talk to him and let him know the status of your business. Let him know that you are in a place of restructuring and needing some help with all the things that you need to bring forth all the things you've been building and working on. My thinking mind, as soon as I felt that nudge at the park, my thinking mind was like, nah. It's like, nah, while the whole world knows that I'm financially strapped right now, it's not, it was like requiring me to show up and not just say, hey, I'm strapped right now, but it's like my business is in a SOS. I have all of these ideas, all of this vision, all of these programs and courses and workshops and retreats and podcast ideas, like all these things that I have in the queue that need funding and marketing and operations assistance and graphic design and all the things. It's like I can't go to this man and tell him all of these things about my business. And that was just my thinking mind judging. Like, what will he think of me? What will he think? What will he care about it? Yeah, he wants to help entrepreneurs, but he don't know me. Not like that. This is all in my thinking mind. Not to mention, we had just finished working out. We're working out. I'm sweaty, smelly. I don't even have on a full shirt or earrings. I'm just like all the reasons why. I'm like, okay. And I'm negotiating in my mind. Okay, I'm gonna go home and I'm gonna take a shower and I'm gonna get my computer and my work stuff, and then I'll just go over there and co-work. And if I see him, I'll talk to him. But so it's not like I'm saying no to this nudge, but I wasn't giving it a full body yes. I'm trying to intellectualize and strategize how to engage this encounter that I'm getting this nudge around. So as Vic and I finish up our walk, and I get in the car, and my brain is like, go home, this nudge is like, no, it's come as you are. Just show up. Without your laptop, without your work materials, without your shirt, without your earrings, and full of sweat. Just show up. So I'm like, okay. So I drive my little car on over to his establishment. As soon as we park, I say to Vic, and Vic is such a Vic just rides. She just goes along with my get along, and she trusts the process, and I love that for both of us. But when we pull up to the place, I say to her before we get out the car, I don't know what's about to happen, but we're just gonna see. She doesn't even know anything about what my motive or intention is in reconnecting with him. She's just riding with me to go and have this conversation that I don't even know what the exact conversation is aside from just be transparent. So we get there, walk in the door, the place is packed, first of all. People in conversation and people on their laptops. And it's just people. And it's not a huge spot. Real concentrated, a lot of people in this spot. I scan the room really quickly. I don't see him. I'm like, oh, maybe he's not here. Go up to the counter and I ask the gal behind the counter, hey, is your owner here? And she says, yeah, I think so, actually. She looks around the room, she doesn't see him. She's like, but I think he might be out back. We go out back. I'm nervous because I'm like, I don't know what he's going to say or what he's going to think. This is a guy who's been an upstanding citizen and a business owner in the community for 15 plus years. And, he's well established. Like, he don't know me, but here I am popping up. He doesn't even probably know my name. Okay. So his staff person kind of leans into his office and says, "Hey, there's somebody here to see you." He peeks around the door. His eyes light up. His eyes lit up. You know that look when someone's really excited to see you? You're like surprised and grateful. That's how he was looking at me. And he's like, "Hey," first thing he says is, "You guys are back from Costa Rica?" And I'm thinking, damn, how did he know we were in Costa Rica? And I'm like, oh, yeah, he follows on social. And we're like, yeah, we're back, not for good, but we're back visiting, da 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 da. And, it was a very warm embrace, his welcome was. It allowed me to feel assured that I was in the right place at the right time and that it wasn't a mistake to follow that nudge into this unknown, into the mystery, into my discomfort, into my uncertainty. So when I see his eyes light up, it literally disarmed me to where I could show up and be fully present in the exchange as that nudge was leading me to do. It wasn't just to show up, that was half the battle, but to share and to share candidly with him the status of my business. And so as I say to him, I say, I this wasn't really like planned, but I felt a real calling to like just come back and talk to you because I remember the last time that we talked, you said you were building something for entrepreneurs and you want to do this kind of impact work in the community and I remembered you said that. And I don't know what you've done with it in the last year and a half, but I need help. And I said it's not easy for me to ask for help. And it's not. It's not easy, even though I've come to do it a little bit more regularly on this platform. It's not easy to show up and be this naked, this honest with myself, this honest with the world, this transparent. It's not easy. But I understand that it is my call to action, not because I need things and asking for help. And that is true. I do need things, but because this is a part of the process by which I bring it in with ease. That's what alignment does. It brings what you want in with ease. So as I'm talking to him and explaining to him all the different needs within the brand that I'm building, he said he listened very intently. He made really great eye contact, and that's important to me. I don't make eye contact with everybody for good reason, but there are people that I intentionally make eye contact with, and I hope to get it back in return because then that allows for the spiritual connection, not just that physical. So I'm gazing at him softly. He's gazing back at me softly, but intently, like listening. He was listening. And here I was afraid that he wouldn't even take time out of his day to stop and talk to us, any more than he would anybody else that's just kind of casually passing through. But again, upon entry, he connected with he connected with my energy in a way that allowed me to feel welcome, to feel seen, and to feel heard. Three things that I wasn't quite expecting, but because I followed the nudge, I was welcomed and greeted with it. After I explained to him the challenges I'm having, the problems and the needs and the support system that I'm asking for, he asked me, "What's your biggest pain point right now?" He asked really intelligent and intentional questions, really wanting to understand more about how he could serve me. And here I am, not even sure that I should even show up. Meanwhile, he's listening for how can he serve me. So there are so many things that came from that conversation yesterday, to include possible leads on capital. And I'm saying possible to keep it cute, but I know it's a lead that will be fulfilled. I know he is here in my life with that enthusiasm, with that intentionality, and with that desire for a good reason that will also serve me. I know that. But that part of me that almost blocked the blessing that was waiting for me, because I couldn't make sense of why I should go in there. And my ego was afraid of being judged or criticized or not respected for being in such need. And I've been in business this long. He took it one step further to talk about his own challenges, even having been in business, how entrepreneurship is an ebb and flow that people don't pay attention to. They think once you're up all the time, as if you don't have a low month that makes you have to contemplate, am I going to be able to stick this out, or am I going to have to wrap it all up? Like, he related to my pain points in a way that it was just so special. So when I left there, when Vic and I left there after the depth of the conversation that we had, it was just nothing but alignment in it. But I tell you the depth and breadth of this story to talk about how the thinking mind gets involved and can easily dismantle a blessing because it can't make sense of a thing, or because it doesn't know or doesn't trust that thing, that something might actually be working out in your favor. My thinking mind went straight to, he's gonna judge me, or he won't respect me, or he won't really feel rested and assured in the quality of what I do. You know, I'm just like, he doesn't know me. He hasn't heard my client testimonials. He doesn't know anything about what magic really lies in my heart and in this brand and in these programs and these readings. He doesn't know. He still hasn't had a human design reading yet. But what he does know, he knows how he feels. And he didn't say this. Actually, he did allude to this, that we had a 1 hour conversation over a year ago that left him feeling something. He was just like, man, I only talked to you for an hour, so I know. He said that yesterday. I only talked to you for an hour, so I know. And he didn't quite finish the sentence because we were talking about so many things, but he said that part and I heard it, to remind me that you never know what impact you have on people. You never know the small things that you might say that leave a big impact and big impression on people. You never know what can happen when you lean into your intuition. And it was my intuition that led me there. And the reason why I allowed it to lead me there is because I remembered Mexico. And the reason so much magic unfolded so quickly and so smoothly in Mexico is because I was present. I wasn't trying to get ahead to what am I going to do later and what's going to happen next and the day after tomorrow. I wasn't like in the future. I was in the moment. I was feeling for my next step. I wasn't planning my day in my head. I was literally like a little GPS, moment to moment. Vic will tell you, we're just feeling our way to the next experience, and to the next experience, and to the next experience. And then these little bitty experiences were big red carpets that led us to different things that, oh, Ended up being so magical. And it didn't all start to really piece together in that kind of fluid way until the last few days, where I really sank into that, bitch, every time you get present and you just keep following these nudges, it's leading to more opportunity and fun experiences and provision. Like it was leading me. And I know this and I trust it, but I get distracted. Just like many of you, we get distracted by what's in our immediate environment, the things that we can see, the things that we can touch, the things that we're hearing from other people or on the internet. We get distracted by that shit. That's why we have to meditate. That's why mindfulness is so important. It's learning how to eliminate this distraction to go inside to feel for what is right and next and best. So I did that after the walk yesterday. I felt for whether I should go home to take the shower that I intended to take in my mind, or should I go right over here? And when I felt this, the go right over here, bitch, I took my ass over there. Getting out the car with Vic. I don't know what's about to happen, but we're just gonna see. And walked out of the place feeling rested and assured that I was exactly where I was supposed to be. Getting exactly the information that I needed, exactly the kind of personal support and empowerment, encouragement that I needed. I need encouragement too. Sometimes a lot feels heavy. Sometimes it feels like a burden that's unbearable. I already know I'm not going to quit. I might have a meltdown, crash out, cuss out. I might do all the things, but I'm not quitting. But again, that willingness to be embarrassed, that willingness to be transparent, the willingness to ask for help, I know opened a door yesterday. I know it did. In fact, the door was already open. I didn't even know it was open already. His eyes lit up when he saw us. And the more we talked, the more I talked about what I want to do and what I'm struggling with and how I align with his vision of what he's trying to do. It's like there was so much fucking synergy in the conversation. It was nothing but alignment. So I'm in a different place right now. You said I feel nervous. I did. Yeah, I did feel nervous. I did feel nervous. I was nervous. No doubt about it. I was still walking forward into it, but I definitely was not sure. My ego mind did not want to be embarrassed or humbled, rejected. I didn't want to feel that. But I was following the nudge with confidence. This is where I know I'm supposed to be right now. I don't know what the fuck he's going to say and how this is going to play out, but I know this is where I'm supposed to be. So I've changed my whole approach to manifesting. I'm not focused on just what I want. It's important to have an idea, to have a vision, but I'm not just focused on that. You know, there's a lot of strategies where people say, write down what you want, put it on a vision board, make sure you look at it all the time, make sure you recite it all the time. Uh-uh. Mm-mm. I got a vision already. And I got clarity in that vision. I understand my why for my vision. I may not always get the how part. I know what I want to do and I know why I want to do it. And I know that those things come from high vibrational places that are far beyond my ego. Far beyond. My ego would have stopped doing this morning message 8 months ago. I might have did it for 4, 6, 8 weeks and be like, I'm good. No, I'm good. That would have been my ego's choice. But this is a soul calling. This work that I do in life is a soul calling. I don't expect people to understand it. Hell, I don't even understand it sometimes. Sometimes I'm questioning myself like, bitch, you are 10 toes down in this shit. Everybody else is doing some old unconscious bullshit, but you're over here doing this. And you're unwavering about this shit. Are you sure you're okay? Yep. Answer always is yes. Never am I unsure about the answer, but those checks and balances is because I start comparing myself to what other people are doing. That's not even my function in this life. I'm a motherfucking trailblazer. And as much as I don't want to be that, I don't want that responsibility, I don't want that expectation, that is my lot in life. And I know I've got to do it. It's like I've got to go where no man has gone before. I've got to do the things that are on the leading edge, that are pioneering, that are trailblazing. I've got to do it so other people can find the courage to do it in their way, on their terms, and in their time. That's what motivates me to keep showing up here. So now I'm moving different. Mexico taught me a lot about my manifestation power. And not just about my quote power as a person, but the power that exists in the universe to connect all things at just the right time. I know that power exists. People talk about the matrix. The matrix makes reference to all the social, political, educational, healthcare, all the infrastructures in this 3D reality that we call life, which is just an interweaving of values and beliefs and expectations that are not spiritual. I knew when I started unplugging from the matrix is when I was actually going to find myself and who I really am. Have and did and are. And what I know is that I not just power, I have purpose. I don't just have purpose, I've got a peace that goes beyond human understanding. I am entitled through my birth. I have a right to joy, satisfaction, fulfillment, fun, abundance, hell, money, all the things. My birthright, the fact that I'm fucking here on the planet, and it's not just about me, you too have access to all of these things. So, the way in which I'm going about my manifestation, the way in which I'm going about envisioning my life and my future, it looks different now. It's not just a list of things that I want to have or do or be or feel. It's not just that. I am manifesting things like alignment, provision, safety and protection, health. I'm not focusing my attention on these this bullshit. I mean, and I say it respectfully, like I like things. I like things. Things, add to our physical experience. I want more things, in fact. I'm not saying I don't respect the things and the joy and fulfillment that they add to an experience is not that. But my priority in manifesting is not to accumulate stuff. It's not even to accumulate experiences. It's not to accumulate anything. It's to know that I already have everything. I already have everything. It's like we talk about people getting to a place where money is no object. That's what I'm manifesting. Shit like that, where money is not an object. I don't feel the need to manifest because I already have access to all of it in its time. All of it. Anything that is necessary to do, to be, to have, to feel, all of it is within my reach. That's what those bright eyes that he greeted me with yesterday reminded me of. Everything that I want wants me too. It's waiting for me to show up in it, to stop overthinking it, to stop being afraid of it, to stop drawing back just because it starts to feel uncomfortable. Stop thinking the worst case scenario when I'm unsure and start acknowledging that the best possible outcome is on the other side of that. Like that is where my vision has gone, where I'm starting to envision myself getting everything I want and need at just the right time. So I don't know. That shit blessed me real hard. Is anything different? No. I got $20. I ate good all day yesterday, as I did every day before that, and every day before that, and every day before that, and even will today. And I say this shit with full confidence. 20 cash dollars and infinite resources. Literally have somebody, and not just somebody, multiple somebodies. I can feel it. You ever have somebody say, "Oh, I was just talking about you" to somebody? I was reminding my son even last night that people are earmarked to serve us. Just like we're earmarked to serve certain people are earmarked to serve us. Speaking your name in rooms you're not in right now. Right now. Setting up opportunities on your behalf without you even asking them. People tell me all the time, "Oh, I refer so and so to you." I love a good referral. I love it. Even while I was in Mexico, got 2 referrals. Other clients texted me, "Oh, I told so and so, I gave them your number, and here's their number so you can reach out to them directly when you get back." I'm on vacation. So the manifestation is bigger than money. That's what I know. It's bigger than money. I don't need to manifest money. I already have access to money. I don't need to manifest anything, quite honestly, because everything that I want is already mine. My job, as is your job as well. If y'all don't learn your human design, I can assure you, you're making your life more complicated, and it's more complex than it needs to be. Even in talking to my son last night, he called me because he was having a tough day. And we had a really beautiful conversation about a lot of different things that ended with your strategy in life is to follow your gut. Your job in life is to wait to respond to what life brings you and then respond from your gut. You do those 2 things, you shall not fail. When we don't do those 2 things, we burn ourselves out. We get frustrated. We feel out of alignment because we are. And he's a generator type, just like I am a generator. I'm a manifesting generator. My twins are generators, but we both, all 3 of us, have the same profile. We're 5-1s, meaning we are meant to speak about our life story, our lived and learned experience, and the things that we've learned, and we share those things with people we don't know. That's their call to action too. And it's no surprise to me that we all 3 have the same profile in life, because I've always felt that. I've always felt that we were different. Not just because they have a mom that's a life coach and has intuitive gifts. It's not just that. It's just I've always felt that our purpose was distinctly different. I've always felt that gap, even for my children, in being able to develop like-minded community. Like, y'all different. You're not gonna get along with people your age. They on some different shit. That's not what you be on. It's not the things you like to talk about. It's not the things that matter most to you. You don't give a fuck about the things that most kids your age give a fuck about. And now that they've been living that, they know what I'm talking about now. My son has created a whole platform for himself. He's got like 21,000 followers on YouTube and 70,000 on IG sharing inspirational content. I'm not in his ear telling him what to talk about. It's his gift. But I'm just saying that to say that we all sometimes feel that level of misalignment. And the way to bring ourselves back, you've got to learn more about how you are made to function. That is the gift that human design gives. Helps you understand you better, how you best make decisions, how you can align with divine timing. For generators, got to respond. We're responding to life. Life will present us with the opportunities, the people, the places, the spaces. It is for us to then respond, but it's for us to choose what to respond to based on how your intuitive self operates best. For us, it's our gut. Those yes, no questions. We've all three got sacral authorities. To ask ourselves them yes, no questions gets us in alignment. Should I do this? Yes or no? No. Shit, dead in the water. Doesn't matter who's invited you to do it, or who said you'd be great at doing it, or how long, how much you can get paid doing it. Shit doesn't matter. If your gut says no, it's fucking no. But when we go against that and we say a yes, even though intuitively we know it should be no, now we're signing ourselves up for burnout, for betrayal, for peer pressure or people pleasing. We're signing ourselves up for all kind of misaligned energies. When if we are paying attention to how we best make decisions and deciding from that place, we get nothing but alignment. Alignment is what led me to that door yesterday, to have that conversation that I so needed to have. That now has somebody actively out in the world trying to meet my needs. He's like, yeah, just send me an email and tell me about your business. Send me the website. Tell me everything you want me to know. Don't overthink it. Don't make it. It doesn't need to be perfect. Just give me some bullet points. He's like, just give me enough that I can work with so I can go out and get it for you. I'm like, shit. And I didn't even want to fucking come in the door. I'm worried about how I look. And do you know this man asked to hug me twice, sweaty and all? I'm like, oh, I want to dap him up. He was like, ah. I'm like, oh my God. I'm just trying to show y'all how we be getting stuck here and it fuck everything up. We be thinking we know better. We be judging ourselves and thinking other people are gonna judge us too. And they don't even be thinking about, he wasn't thinking shit about that. Hugged me on the way out too. I'm like, oh, we're all sweaty. Just came from the track. He's like, ah. We're used to that in Costa Rica. Everybody's sweaty in Costa Rica, so none of them might be tripping off hugs. But in America, I was like, ugh. Okay, come on. Come on, little camera. Come on, little camera. There we go. First card out says Quantum Jump. Okay. Second card out says See Beyond the Past. So I'll tell you why I had some of these preconceived notions about going in there yesterday. Okay. Because remember, I'm on the trail end of getting some information or some opinionation from some folks in my inner circle who, for all intents and purposes, were judging me negatively around how I move in the world. And not really understanding what my call to action, what my purpose in life, what I'm manifesting. Thank you. This Quantum Jump card is what I feel has happened to me in the last week. Okay. Nothing else has exactly changed in my reality. You see, I'm still sleeping on the floor right here as we are visiting with family until it's time to go back. I'm not getting an Airbnb. I don't have a bed. I'm on the floor. I'm grateful to be here. But nothing has really changed in the last 9 days, aside from my mindset and my attitude. Okay. This quantum jump, I want to show the card one more time. It has the yin yang on it. Okay, there's so much symbolism in this card, right? Grasshopper, the eye, the yin yang. Take whatever resonates for you. But I can't help but look at the eye and the yin yang. It's making me think of that half full, half empty. It's a matter of perspective. My mindset has taken a quantum leap in the last 9 days, without a question. It's like I left here under one gaze and I've come back under another. Completely different perspective. It's like knowing that not just that I can manifest, but I'm entitled to what I want to manifest. I'm entitled to it. My perspective has shifted away from, I trust, I hope, I pray, I know. It's like, no, I'm showing up expecting. And that's a different kind of frequency. That's a big jump forward. It's like I not just believe it, not just know it's possible. Now I'm in a place of expectation with it. And that is a big divide that I didn't realize was there. I thought, oh, I just trust God. I know it's possible and know it's a thing. Then all the rest is good. It's like, no, 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 no. No, no, no. That's not enough. It's not enough for you to know, which is why the resources had to get depleted, because it requires me to trust. It requires me to move with expectation. If that's what I believe I know, I've got to move with that expectation. I can't be surprised when things work out. I have to know it's supposed to work out. It's always going to work out. May not be in the way in which I would orchestrate it, but the outcome is still the same. The abundance is still the goal. And I should expect that everywhere I step, if and when I move intuitively, I should expect to be met with blessings. I should expect that. So it's still a work in progress. I'm moving forward. I'm willing to be embarrassed, or I'm willing to be disappointed. Now I say willing because that's what be going in our head is this is what's negatively possible and that's what's negatively possible and this other thing too. I'm willing to bank on that by still moving forward. I'm not moving forward with an arrogance like, yeah, where's my stuff? I'm here, where's my shit? Mm-mm. I'm just showing up in it. And that's for some of you to just show up in it. These quantum links can't happen without a shift in your mindset. And if you stay stuck in fear, you're not going to show up in it. You're not going to be able to reap the benefit of a thing if you don't show up to receive it. Some of y'all need to write that down. Show up. Start showing up. Whatever that means to you. Maybe you need to ask yourself, in what ways can I start showing up differently so that I can attract my abundance, so I can bring it in? How do I need to start showing up differently? I'll tell you, one of the reasons that have eternally, or at least historically, kept me from showing up differently was my past. Okay. And I have a path of all different kinds of variety. One reason why I felt apprehensive about showing up in transparency with this guy yesterday is because I've had someone try to hijack my ideas and take them as their own and trademark them. I've had people do this already to me. So what would I look like showing up to start sharing with this dude all of my trade secrets and all of my vision and all of the shit that I haven't protected in this conversation with an NDA? Why would I tell him all of these things without these protection and still feel safe? Well, I can tell you why. And everybody's not equal. When I was doing that before with people who I thought were potential business partners that were in it to win it with me, not in it to steal from me, when I showed up in transparency and honesty and trust with them, I got burned. I got judged. I got taken for granted. I got betrayed. I mean, all kind of bullshit happened from that. I had a sour taste, and Vic will tell you when we first started dating, and so many things, so many hoops she had to jump through in order for me to disarm myself, to let her in and to trust her. I don't just have like little business ideas. I have big vision, big, magnificent vision, like empire kind of shit, big stuff. It's not just a little program or a little this. It's like life-changing, big infrastructure shit that I walked in the door yesterday and later followed up with an email saying, hey, I ordinarily wouldn't be this open and honest, but I am being called to trust. I'm being called to ask for help. I'm being called to show up differently with you. So it was like, I hope to him. I just told him, like, I ask that you keep this in confidence. I can't assure that. Even if I had legal protection, I still couldn't assure that. But I'm willing to show up in it now because I know I'm making that decision from a gut place. I didn't ask my gut, should I share it with this fuck nigga that I shared it with before? I was just looking for somebody to help me. He like, he can help me, boom. And before I know it, this nigga tried to steal the rug from underneath me. So now I know I'm grounded. I know I'm aligned. And if spirit says, lean into this fool, respectfully, I'ma lean in. But it did take a little self-coaching, okay? Because I was really mad at myself before for letting myself be vulnerable to be taken advantage of by people that I never should have trusted, people that never had my interest in their purview. Never did they. But I wasn't looking at that. And so that would be what I would consider in my past to be a failure. Like I dropped the ball on that. That was a situation that took so much from me. I let it take so much from me. It took away my ability to trust people for a long, long time in business. It really did. It took away my desire to want to collaborate with people, which we know no man is an island and nobody can do it all by themselves, especially an entrepreneur with a big vision. There's no fucking way I can do all this shit by myself. Which is part of why I've been struggling, is because I've been trying to do all the things by myself instead of asking people for help. Hey, can you do this? Would you be willing to do that? And I'm learning. It's still a process and it ain't perfect. This is my purpose. This is my brand. This is my baby. These ideas were conceived through me. I have an attachment. It's umbilical. But it's like I've got to let that go in order to be able to let in more of what I'm calling in. And some of you do need to do the same. You need to look at who you can partner with in order to make your vision come into life. Not all of you. Some of you have the wherewithal to go forth and make the magic happen on your own. At least to get it started. But we all need each other. That's what human design will teach you. You may be the one that has the great vision, but you don't have the energy to execute. You may have the energy to execute, but you don't have all of the great vision. We all need each other. You may already be in community with somebody's got the vision, somebody that can execute, but you still need somebody that can orchestrate getting all the logistics done and showing people how to get things done expeditiously. You know, you need people that can serve as quality assurance, like give you a perspective on how things can be done differently. It's like we all need each other. But again, what we're talking about in certain cultures, particularly America, individualism and capitalism is what leads the way. Individualism and capitalism. Nowhere in there are we talking about community economics, community support, or group encouragement. We're not talking about ways in which we can do things more expeditiously as communities. Every man for himself. You hear this vernacular? So, you know, I'm just talking about some of the lessons I've learned in the last several weeks. God is over here godding big time. I will happily share with you. I've got $20 to my name today, and I am not even bothered by it. Not even bothered by it. Remember when I had a negative $1.60, and 24 hours later, I was going to Mexico. That's not the first time this kind of magic has shown up in my life. It's just not. And I fully understand that everybody is not equipped to live with this kind of trust and faith in their walk. I understand that. I understand that. Just as some of us are not built to sell our soul to do things that don't resonate with us in exchange for just money. I don't resonate with that. So everybody's got to do what works for them. Okay. I'm just here to report what actually works for me. What actually works for me. And I'm not talking about, well, you just want to be broke? That works for you to be broke? No, it doesn't. It does work for me to have my needs met with grace and ease. And that is absolutely happening. That does work for me. To not have to stress out about so many things, wondering how this is going to happen or that's going to get met. That works for me to not have that burden. It does. It really does. And if it didn't work for me, I'd be doing something different. But that's obviously working for me. It works for me to put all of my trust in something that I can't see versus what I can. It does. You got to figure out what works for you. Whew. Like this video if you resonate with these messages. Like this video if you've already started thinking about things that you need to look at changing so that you can bring more of what you want into your life. Like this video if you know you need to drink some more water. Honestly. So I kind of want to pivot in this conversation a little bit because I am getting a lot of hits around like health and safety. Health and safety. Okay. Yeah. Oddly enough, I was having this conversation with this particular gentleman yesterday also about entrepreneurship and mental health. And I can extend that to entrepreneurship and physical safety. I think it goes without saying that if our mental health is not in order, it certainly does make it more challenging to run a business, much less work a job, right? How many of y'all have ever taken a mental health day from your job? I used to schedule them shits regularly, and not because I was fucking stressed out, but because it was a justifiable way I could get a day off, get some freedom. Not because I woke up stressed and I can't get out of bed. No, it was never that. It was like more like I'm a single mom and I don't really have a lot of childcare options outside of the school. And so them being at school and me being off work was a mental health day. Absolutely it was. You know, those were my play hooky days. And they were mental health days because in order to keep work life balanced, I needed to take time off for work. And some of you all do too. You need to take time off of work, particularly my entrepreneurs. You know, this last week, and I still didn't quite do it perfectly. To know me is to know I work every day. And it's not because somebody's making me. It's because I love what the fuck I do. I love what I get to do. I love it so much, I will do it 24 hours a day. Whether it's researching or learning something in the middle of the night, I'm always on the internet in the middle of the night. And I know Vic probably think I'm just surfing I'd be chat GPTing, all kind of shit I want to know, Googling my ass off, watching YouTube videos, learning about this, that, and the other. I do most of my investigative, my one-line work in the middle of the night, I realize. You may not see me just readily reading a book, you know, and I've started doing that even a little bit more, getting back into reading. But I'm always learning. I'm always learning. It's like I actually use the internet for what its optimal use is, which is to gather pertinent and necessary information about things you don't know, as opposed to staying current on the gossip and the blogs and the bullshit and the trials and shit that don't matter to your actual life. Like, use these tools for their greater good. If you're not getting acquainted with ChatGPT, you're behind. You are behind. If you're not learning how to streamline your business in ways that take more responsibility off of you, and you can use this technology to expedite producing things, creating things, I mean, like, you're behind. You're not working smarter, you're working harder. So this energy around entrepreneurship, health, and safety, this isn't about just, you know, having locks on your doors if you got a brick and mortar store. Like, when we start talking about entrepreneur mental health, we're talking about things like work-life balance and stress management. We're talking things like fitness and nutrition. We're talking about things like your rest and work cycles. Like, I'm not proud to say that I work 24 hours a day. That's not good. And what I was going to say is this trip, even though I didn't do it perfectly, is the first time in a long time that I have given myself permission to not work. And it's kind of loaded still because showing up to do these morning messages is still, quote, work. I did take a call from my marketing assistant, the gal that's helping me with the marketing. I did take a meeting with her, but I did not see any clients this last week. And I didn't work on any program development. I didn't even take out my laptop the entire time that I was in Mexico. That is a miraculous feat. I felt too much anxiety just to leave it at home, so I did bring it. But this was like the first time in a long time that I've allowed myself to not work. And it's like, I'm the boss. Of course I can make myself not work, but it's like I'm normally doing something every day, all the time. All the time. And I was intentional. It's like, no, have fun. And I feel like some of y'all need to hear this have fun. Take a break from the shit that you know, even if you love it. I was literally saying this to my son yesterday too. And Vic reiterated this morning. She's like, you tell him to have some fun. And I'm like, yeah. He needs to have some fun. Working too much. This is part of the collective message. Y'all need to build in more fun into your life and your lifestyle. Okay? A lot more fun. And when I say a lot more fun, it's like fun needs to be on the schedule every week. Every week. Date night with yourself, or take yourself out to lunch, or plan something with the homies, or your partner. It's like fun needs to be the objective. I don't feel like I'm really void of this. Vic and I have fun all the time. We have fun just doing regular stuff. Like we went for a walk. That was fun. We enjoy each other's company. But even beyond that, it's like fun doing an activity that's mindless, that you don't have to be thinking about. Activities that are creative or playful, that bring out your inner child. Some of y'all saw me playing the instruments with the Mayan sound healer a couple of days ago when I was in Mexico. That shit was so fun. It was so fun. It really was. It was such a treat. So it's a lot of energy around building in fun into your schedule for your mental health. Taking time off of work so that you can enjoy yourself, enjoy your life. Okay. And I'm not talking about like vacations. Vacations are cool, but like doing something mundane wherever you live, finding joy wherever you are, engaging in things that make you smile. Okay. Okay. So as we're talking about entrepreneurship safety, okay. Safety is such a loaded word, right? We can be talking about mental, emotional, spiritual safety, physical safety. Okay. And they're giving me spiritual safety. Okay. It's not physical, it's spiritual. It's social, in fact. It's kind of leading me to go back to, the vision that you have been given is yours. Protect it. Okay. Some of you need to really be considering, even if you haven't started in on your business yet, looking at legal protections for it, intellectual property protections. Okay. The safety theme around entrepreneurship feels more like it's internal. Okay. It's like, don't share your ideas with people who you don't trust. Okay. It's make sure that you govern the things that matter most, just like you would any material object. You wouldn't just leave something you really care about just sitting out on the table or just sitting out anywhere for public consumption. You would be more responsible. Okay, so I don't know who needs to hear that, but it's like, make sure you're protecting yourself. Whether it's through trademarking or patents and copyrights or whatever it is, it's make sure that you are being proactive, okay? Okay? Being proactive. All right. I don't know, I'm clearly talking to entrepreneurs right now, so I feel travel coming in from my entrepreneurs. It feels like more like presentation based, like maybe it's speaking or workshop, is something instructional, teaching, maybe even learning like some kind of educational abroad trip or something like that. It's some kind of travel associated with entrepreneurship. Okay, so I don't know what y'all do if you're a consultant or a speaker or a coach or whatever it is. It's like get ready. Okay, it's get ready to move around with whatever you know. Okay, and it feels like something that might even be like what I want to call residential, like you like a contract, like contract work, like you go live in another country and do something for X amount of weeks and then you come back, like that kind of thing. Okay. Okay. So shout out to all my consultants. That's what it's given. It's given like some kind of remote contract work. Okay. feels like I want to call it like growth oriented work. Like it's a step forward or a step up. Like it's a promotion or something that you can leverage for a longer while. Like it's something. It's an advantage, is what I want to say. It's a step up. Okay. And some of you might be thinking, well, I don't know. I don't have anything to produce, or I don't have anything created, or it's anything new. It's given like you already have whatever this content is. It already exists. It's just for you to go and share it in another place. Okay. It's not a new program or a new workshop. It's not nothing new. It's some shit you already know. It's just going to share it. Okay. It's a lot of energy around that. Okay. Okay. So it looks fun and look like you're having a great time. Girl, I did. I did. I did, I did, I did. Okay, and here that is again. So we got the last two cards to wind us down. What's up, Angel? Crystal? Vicky? Emma? Card says chanting. This is coming from my Sacred Self-Care Oracle deck. Okay. If you're looking at that little loop-de-loop there in the middle, that's actually trying to symbolize the vibration of what happens when you start chanting. Okay. I was just having this conversation with another friend about the power of chanting. And I know chanting gets a bad rap because it's closely associated to religious doctrine, which there are certain religions that do chant. Okay. Chanting is in its form, it's in its essence, it's just song and sound. Okay. It's song and sound. It has a particular rhythm. That's it. That's all it is. So those of you who start getting a little weirded out by the notion of chanting, it's only because you've been indoctrinated to believe it's something demonic or something that is not godly, but it's just song and sound in a particular rhythm. One might say, especially when you listen to some of this low vibrational music and hip hop, there's a lot of chanting. There's a lot of chanting sounds. Okay. The rhythm and the melodies of the music have a certain pattern and a certain frequency that is meant to literally put you in a trance. Okay. But this is talking about the vibration of sound. When we chant creates a vibration inside of us that is like it loosens, like anything that you shake. If you shake something, it starts to loosen up things around it. Okay. And that's what chanting does, is it starts to shake up and create a vibration inside of you that starts to allow you to loosen up things like tension. Okay, and that's on the topical. But chanting can also wiggle us loose of emotions that are trapped in there. Okay, things that have gone unexpressed that we ball up and shove down. When you start chanting, it allows you to release and relax in a way that brings things to the conscious mind. Okay. When people talk about going into a trance, that's what a trance does, is it allows us to get away from our conscious controlling mind and into our subconscious mind. Okay. Which is really the command center inside of ourselves, is our subconscious mind. It's like we can control our conscious mind, but the subconscious is what's really in control. Okay. So chanting, I particularly like to chant vowel sounds. It's been a while since I've given myself the permission to do this work, because the way I like to chant starts with a very low frequency, like and then it goes a little bit higher. And over time, a little bit higher. A little bit higher. And I might go another octave higher, and I'll stay at that octave, that heightened octave for a couple of rounds, and then I'll start to take it back down incrementally, little by little. And some of you may have noticed just in listening to my vibrational sound that you start to feel a vibration, a frequency even for you. And it's not even coming from your voice. So when that voice, your voice, is articulating the sound, and notice how I'm blowing the air all the way out. I'm not forcing it. I'm just opening up my mouth and I'm letting the air rise from my diaphragm and release itself. I'm not trying to say ah, ah. I'm not using my throat to say it. I'm letting the air release through my vocal cords and out. And when you practice this kind of chanting, it's so relaxing. It's so relaxing to your mind and to your body. It is so soothing. I encourage you to start with like the small sounds and do like, I'll say it like 3 times at a low octave, and then I'll take it up higher 3 times there, and then I'll take it up higher. And it's like by the time you get to that full burst of ah, like as soon as you get there, it like your mind starts to relax. Your conscious mind starts to relax. Your unconscious mind starts to seep forward. And it's then again that you can start getting downloads and inspiration. It's like you start getting clarity. You start feeling that ease of calm, which creates the distraction and all the barriers around your mental thinking mind. When you can disarm yourself by just changing your frequency, literally with your voice, it changes the frequency throughout you. So I really encourage people to work with chanting as a modality for self-care, to practice mindfulness and meditations. It is, it feels good. Okay, I always liken it to the massage chair that shakes. That feels good to shake our muscles. When you chant, it allows literally all of your organs. They say there's so much research around how it helps to restore health and healing at a cellular level just by chanting, just by using that sound and frequency to self-care. So do your own research. YouTube University is our friend, okay? Google, chat, Pinterest, do them all, okay? Do your research around chanting before you just decide, oh, that's not for me because I don't want to be summoning no spirits or whatever people have taught you to believe about that. That's not true. Do your own research, okay, about the power of chanting. But it's a lot of energy around that, using this as a modality, particularly for those who are entrepreneurs. And I'm not sure in this moment why this is coming through so vividly for entrepreneurs. Okay, because it's like a grounding exercise. Even if you look at the picture, you see very grounded, very purposeful, very relaxing, very demure. Okay. Okay. So I encourage y'all to work with that. Last card of the day. We keep getting this one. It says abundance planning. Remember, we're talking about manifestation, which always starts with a vision. You got to get clear about what you want. If you say you need some money, I told Vic this yesterday when we were coming back from the meeting. Actually, I told her that before the meeting too. I'm like, I got to start writing down all the things that I need money for. All the things that I want to resolve or elevate or take care of, that I need actual dollars for. I need to make a list. And that's what this is speaking to as well. Is what are the things you want money for? What do you need to do? What do you want to do? Okay. And they're really identifying the need versus want. It's like, I want $1 million so I can travel the world, but is that what I need to be doing right now? Given my other priorities and my other values, like, is that really what I need? Okay. It's like it's a lot of accountable energy around like identifying what it is that you want. What are you calling in? Okay. What do you need right now in order to do what you're trying to do? What do you actually need? You may want $100,000, but do you really need $100,000 right now today to do what you need to do? That's the question. So abundance planning, it includes all the things, okay? You need medication for your medication? Put that on the list. You want to get your daughter some new glasses? Put that on the list. It's like you need to get a new car because your car is not functional? Put that on the list. It's like put all the things that you need, okay? Emphasis on need. Need. What do you actually need? Because when we start prioritizing based on needs, some of the frivolous shit, the Gucci handbag may not make the list. Okay, you've always wanted a Louis Vuitton, luggage set, that may not make the list. When we talk about need, okay? So write down a list of needs. What do you need? What are you calling in? And put the dollar amount if you know how much it costs. Put that on the list too, okay? But it's a lot of energy around the need, okay? And as we were talking about entrepreneurship and safety, what do you need to feel more safe? Some of you have actual physical standing businesses that you do need things for. You need to paint, you need new flooring, or you need a new alarm or security system, or you want, to upgrade your clothes racks because it's more functional, so bring in more sales and make it more attractive. It's like getting clear about what you need, okay? It's a lot of energy there. A lot of energy there. You need an editor, you need to write that down, okay? An editor to read your books, write that down, okay? What do you need? Okay, you need a business license, write that down. What do you need to execute, okay? It's a lot of energy around that, okay? And writing down how much you need, okay? You see, there's an actual dollar amount here. It's not just the list, but there are dollar amounts there. What do you need? Okay. And get clear about the difference between what you want and what you need. What's interesting about this card is I literally sat down to start writing my new list of what I'm manifesting and write it on this paper to state what I need. Because I started writing down things here and I'm like, some of those things I want, but that's not actually what I need right now. So I sat down to start writing a new one, and wouldn't you know, last card of the day is abundance planning. So more confirmation that I'm on the right track. I hope that you are too. Run this message back if you need to catch it from the tip top of the beginning. For those of you who popped in a little bit later, love it if you could like this video to allow people to know it's something worth listening to and worth watching here on these YouTube streets. And do that with any other video that you watch on this platform. It's free of charge. I love you much for your support. And yeah, it's Friday. Is today Friday? Yeah, today is Friday. So I'll be back out in these streets on the YouTubes next Monday. Of course, we're here Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 Eastern for the live morning message. Please go to begreateveryday.com if you'd like to book a reading. I would love to offer you one, particularly a human design reading. I have gotten a little bit stingy with using my energy to do these intuitive readings. I may get on YouTube on Instagram and do some donation based later. But I really feel called to help people better understand their human design. If you have not had a reading, even if you have, it's just one and dones are never the case with human design because you are an eternal being and there's so much to unpack about you. So if you'd like to book a reading, go to begreateveryday.com, click the human design consultation, and we will do just that. You'll get both Vic and I at your beck and call to answer any of your questions, to help you solve any of the problems that or on the forefront of your life, they can all be traced back to who you are and how you are. So would love to introduce that to you and support you. And I'll say it again and again and again. I thank y'all for supporting me, for supporting this platform, for just supporting anything and everything that we do. Some of you are just so, so, so magical in the way you share your energy with us. And I'm so grateful for you all. So I do encourage you to go out and get some fun, have some fun this weekend. It's Juneteenth, okay? There should be plenty of celebrations in the communities. I encourage you to get out and be a part of one. And in the meantime, in between time, as I always say, life does not have to be perfect in order for you to be great no matter what. Just got to make the conscious choice. So have a great day. No matter what. Peace.